How do you use Clary Sage for spiritual awakening? We know this essential oil is used a lot for hormone balancing and women's health, but it has some profound spiritual aspects as well. And that's what we wanted to have a little bit of a chat about. Now, Liz, just before we started recording, you were telling me that you were kind of reading recently about it's really important to ask the right questions when it comes to spiritual awakening.
Well, ask the right questions generally in life, but rather than sort of thinking about why is this happening to me, why seems to be a question that goes like you could have really expansive answers. But if you ask questions that are how or what questions, then this helps you. So, what's happening here? What can I do about? How can I move forward with this? Helps your brain to actually anchor in on better questions and more solution oriented situations. And in spiritual awakening, I think that is like quite an important thing because I mean, this is kind of in a way, a bit of an Instagram buzzword, but I can't give it a better explanation of this sensation of suddenly realizing actually I'm more than just a body. There's something else going on that I'm connected to something bigger. And when that starts to happen, that can be quite a strange situation because the chances are you find that the friends that you have don't want to have the same conversations that you do. You're not having the same thoughts as everybody else. It can be very disorienting. And so opening up to the universe way too much and trying to think of way too many questions can be, well, it can drown you. I've been there. I definitely did it. And so anything that you can do to say to be better in your sort of plan of how to go forward investigating can be helpful. So Clary Sage is very useful because it's an oil that is very good at balancing your mind and your heart, or your feelings, I should say. And I think that when you start to have these sort of sensations that there's more going on than I'm seeing on the TV, and there's more going on than I've been told, one of the best antennae to be able to hone is sensory perception within the body and learning to listen to that. And so, what's going on here? How am I feeling this in my body can be really helpful. And Clary Sage is a great oil to help you be able to sort of hone that reception to pick that signal up, I think.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking about the two main buzzwords that I kind of associate with Clary Sage when it comes to spirituality. And I think that'd be clarity, which when we're talking about these questions, the how and the what questions would give you a lot more clarity than a why question would. But also euphoric. Clary Sage is said to kind of create this euphoric kind of atmosphere. And I think sometimes we might think that, okay, well, I might work with Clary Sage, it might help with spiritual awakening. I'll kind of get very euphoric, or I was having a joke with my partner who was telling me that he just spoke to someone who lived in Utopia until we worked out that was Ethiopia. But I think that really, we can aspire to those kind of blissful states, and Clary Sage could help us there. But spiritual awakening is about becoming more alert, about finding answers to the questions we're asking. And so I really love this idea of working with Clary Sage to ask the right questions, and through using it, it will actually help you to find the right answers to help you find that euphoric state where you're like not just blissed out, but actually happy because you're moving forward in life, not stuck in a rut. Would you agree?
Yeah, I do think that the euphoric state is probably the problematic aspect of it. I would have really let's talk about that first of all. Clary Sage, sort of in the 16th, 17th century, if you look at historical documents of beer made in Britain, beer was often cut with Clary Sage. Clary Sage was put in instead of hops because hops are expensive. Clary Sage is not. And you would get drunk very quickly drinking beer that had got Clary Sage in, or also muscatel wine. This happened used to happen a lot with in Germany as well. So you would get drunk very, very quickly and very, very giddy, and it's very light and happy, and it's nice, happy drunk. But oh my goodness, in the morning you have the worst headache. It's And so you could also see like documents that show that people's like ringing in sick, people had no, or you didn't ring in sick in the 16th century, but the reasons why they didn't go to work was really bad hangovers, and it was probably because they were drinking the cheap ale in the boozer. So we want to be careful of definite of mixing any kind of situation where Clary Sage and booze is involved. They don't mix very well at all. And actually, I would say anybody that's sort of talking to you about sort of spiritual awakening with booze is kind of not helping you very much. The whole thing is about being more to yourself. So if you're sort of tempted to have a glass of wine beforehand, then this is not the oil to go for. And likewise, it's not the oil to go for if you are pregnant, because it brings uterine contractions and it's estrogenic. So which is a situation that won't support pregnancy. But this idea of euphoria, the other thing that you will have in those situations is that you become lighter and lifted and more out of your head. And when you start to awaken to the possibility that there's more going on, you definitely want to kind of start thinking about, oh, I want to investigate this. You want to investigate that. I want to investigate the other. And it's really exciting. But one of the most important things to do is learn to ground yourself. Otherwise, the first thing that will happen is you will kind of push yourself so far and become so exhausted. And it's a crash that is really hard to come back from. So we don't want to be in a situation where we're lifting the energy too much, because that is going to bring the crash and you are going to get disoriented. So you only want to use very, very small amounts. And by that, I would say like one drop in maybe a teaspoon of carrier oil, and either use it on the back of your head or on your forehead or on the insides of your arms, and that's it. And when you're doing sort of meditations or mindfulness or any kind of situation like that, we're going to do quite a few different related videos this week. We are going to do one about how to use it for mindfulness. We are going to do one of how to use it to help you listen to yourself. And so they will be more tailored to that. But the practice is very similar, that we just kind of keep engaging with what's on our hands. That's all that we need to smell to be able to kind of anchor us to switch off everything that is outside, to listen to our thoughts and our feelings and become more focused on what's happening in our own internal corpus outside of the noise. And yeah, just a tiny drop in your carrier oil and rest. You take it in, you breathe, let it do its job, and then come back to it again in a minute or two. And that's all we're doing. We're just kind of switching everything else down and bringing all of the internal stuff up, focusing our mind and our body to say, right, what's happening in here? What's going on in here? That way.
I think when we go back to nature, and especially if we observe trees, we often see trees getting taller and taller and taller. But at the same time, they're actually getting deeper and deeper into the ground. Their growth is always in two directions. And so, with that spiritual awakening, yes, we want to open our perception to be greater, but we also need to listen to ourselves a little bit more as well. And so, I think Clary Sage is a really great one that kind of helps with that dual nature really powerfully. Now, you're talking just then about using Clary Sage and popping it in a carrier oil. Is there any harm of me popping a single drop in my hands and just cupping that over my nose and mouth and breathing it in that way? Or do you think it should be diluted?
Well, as an aromatherapist, I would tell you it should always be diluted. We shouldn't be doing that at all in aromatherapy guidelines, because there is always the chance of sensitization or allergies. And so we would always want to. But I always think that when we just kind of take this one drop and sort of smooth it on, we're kind of dumbing down how strong that essential oil is. You know, it's an extremely concentrated medicine, and what we want to do is kind of make it diffuse. to be able to work on the more spiritual aspects of our body. They are subtler. We don't want to be hitting them with a sledgehammer. So when I was obviously taught by mum, and mum was taught by Patricia Davis, and Patricia Davis always said the higher spiritual sort of plan you're trying to work with, the more dilute that you use. So from a physical medicine point of view, we should not be putting it neat on our skin anyway. But to try and tap into that spiritual aspect, we go dilute, dilute, dilute. And if you kind of look at work like by Bruce Bukowski, for example, his spiritual phytoessencing, he works to a millionth of a drop. You know, the really, really dilute things. So this is lazy. One drop on the hand is lazy, but also potentially dangerous. We don't do it. We dilute it, please.
Fair enough. And I guess what you want to be focusing on in this effort of spiritual awakening is you want to focus on the question, not the aroma of the Clary Sage. Clary Sage is just a subtle friend that is helping you with that inquiry.
It depends what you're trying to achieve, doesn't it? I would talk about this in the mindfulness one, but there would be situations where it's helpful just to concentrate on thinking about your way through the aroma of the essential oil. That's quietening in its own right. But if you are looking to answer a spiritual question, again, you could go more than one way. I could say, for example, that I would ask the spirit of the plant to help me with that. And I have done that before now, and said to the Clary Sage plant, well, what is it that you want me to know? And the answer from the plant was, you need to find out where's your center, and I can help you with that. And that's a Clary Sage question. But likewise, if you want to put it in a diffuser to quieten yourself and to take yourself into a situation where you can answer other questions, then that is completely relevant and correct.
Well, as Liz has said, we may not have answered the meaning of life in this video, but we are going to answer many of your other questions about Clary Sage, because this is the first of a series of short videos we'll be doing. Make sure you keep an eye on the channel, so subscribe with the notifications so you get them as they pop out from day to day. And we have a long form conversation where we dive through all the aspects of Clary Sage, which you can check out as well. Until we're back again to dive deeper into Clary Sage, take care and blessed be.